Stories are inherently contrived. They are invented by someone with an idea, and that person uses their imagination to pursue it. While the story's contents might be more or less related to history or facts, an element of creativity will always be present. Stories being contrived is an absolute truth, so what makes them so powerful? Why do humans find themselves so attracted to a medium that could be perceived as false from the very beginning? The purpose of this video is to reflect on my experiences with stories in the form of Japanese anime, and perhaps encourage you, the viewer, to ponder this question yourself. The first anime I ever watched was Sword Art Online. I was introduced to it in middle school by a close friend of mine. Though I was skeptical about it at first, and only watched the show because he constantly asked me to, SAO completely blew me away. As a first-time anime viewer, I found the mix of romance, drama, and action incredibly intoxicating. And even after my friend left the house that day, I rewatched my favorite scenes over and over. For the next few years, I watched a few more anime, like JoJo, One Punch Man, and The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. While I did find them enjoyable, it was difficult for me to work up the desire to start a new anime after finishing one. As a result, I watched anime intermittently, never getting hooked, but never forgetting how much I enjoyed watching them. Fast forward to summer break, 2022. I'm on a family vacation to Europe, joined by the same friend that recommended SAO all those years ago. In between sightseeing, getting caught in torrential downpours, and arguing with my parents, we watched Overlord and Parasite in their entirety. My friend had suggested we watch these, and just like in middle school, I was skeptical. I had never heard of these titles before and believed that I would end up not liking them. Instead, they became all I could think about during the trip. It was these two anime that showed me that good stories have the ability to redefine your interests. Overlord in particular was quite out there for me, but because I was watching it with a friend I could laugh along with, I found myself enjoying it far more than I could have ever expected. Now we cut to spring break, 2023. I had begun dating a coworker of mine about a month before, so I was looking forward to spending the next week hanging out with them. We had spent countless phone calls before the break discussing our plans and talking late into the night about how excited we were. I woke up on the first morning of that spring break to a phone call from them. They told me, point blank, that they were no longer in love with me and wanted to end the relationship before they felt guilty about leading me on. And that was that. Hurting and staring down the barrel of a week to be spent wallowing in my newfound loneliness, I decided to watch Your Lie in April. Purely on a whim. I didn't know its genre, anything about its story. I went in totally blind, just searching for a distraction from my misery. And just like with Sword Art Online, Your Lie in April completely blew me away. Perhaps it was because I was emotionally vulnerable, or because it had been some time since I watched an anime. The anime story deeply resonated with me. The reintroduction to the ability that anime has to steer your heart, mind, and soul as the animation dances in front of your eyes created a longing for more. I watched every anime I could get my hands on, starting with romance and gradually expanding my repertoire. Months flew by, and all I could think about was what anime I was going to watch next. I started keeping track of my watch list, writing down and rating every completed anime in my phone's notes app. It was an insatiable desire, and before long, I found that my heartache had evaporated. Now we arrived to today. I'm an engineering student in university, with far less free time on my hands than I did as a high schooler. And yet, I still watch anime. Seasonal releases, rewatches, and even the manga of my favorites. In my case, anime helped me through the most difficult time in my life. It took me from my depressing reality and transported me into a different world, one where my sadness was replaced by wonder and joy. This is a power unique to stories, whether it be anime, novels, or even ancient cave paintings. Giving you the ability to escape your reality is something that only stories can do. As a whole, I think the world and its inhabitants are in need of such an escape. Not alcohol, promiscuity, or drugs. Something that inspires them to push on, even as the fate of the world looks increasingly grim by the day. Something that galvanizes them to fight for a better future. The pure-hearted enjoyment anime gave me, and how it helped me through the lowest point in my life, has convinced me, beyond all doubt, that it is the right medium to deliver this healing. I said that I made this video to ponder why stories are so powerful. This is true, but not the whole truth. I honestly feel as though I owe anime a great deal for what it has done for me. I know how cheesy this sounds, but I honestly, truly believe it. And if making this video is enough to convince one person to consider watching it, then making this video was worth it. Thank you.